Okay. Call the meeting to order. Everybody chime in with who you are, please.
Mary Longacre here.
Judy Deutsch.
Dave Shampoo.
Emily Molden.
Anyone else? No. Okay. We have a forum. Everybody had a look at, there's not much to look at on the agenda, but we have a motion on approving the agenda.
I move to approve.
I didn't fill it. We'll add that. We'll add that to the
New business.
new business. So, okay, we have a motion, we have a second on that then?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any minutes, Charlie?
Not yet.
Okay, good. All right, let's move on. Old business, 43 Union Street. I know Emily was there and I was there in person. Did you watch, anybody watch it on? Emily, what's your thoughts on what transpired that day?
Well, overall, I would say I was pleased with the sort of deference or focus that the ZBA gave to your comments, Dave, and the tree advisory committee's perspective and concerns. I thought it was nice that they at least really discussed them. If I remember correctly, it was continued because they wanted to give Attorney Arthur Reed and the applicants the opportunity to come back and revise their plans to remove those elements, particularly the stairwell, that we're concerned about impacting the tree. And we don't really know if they're going to do that or not. And then the ZBA will ultimately have to decide whether to deny the application or condition it, permit it with conditions to eliminate those elements that are of concern to the tree. So I thought it definitely went maybe as well as we could have expected, and we'll kind of have to wait and see what the applicants are willing to change in their proposal and then how far the ZBA is willing to go.
Yeah, I was heartened by the fact that they were, definitely, they were ready to deny it out of hand, I think, based on what we wanted to see. And it seems to me that this whole business of what they're trying, what the owners of 43 are trying to do is get rid of that stairway. I don't think they care about it. To me, I don't think I think that it's a stairway that's they've located, if I got that right, they've already located a parking area where the stairway is now on the HDC permit, correct? Is that, did I hear that correctly, Emily, or?
They definitely show that on the HDC plans.
Yeah.
But I think that what we understood is that before they could actually construct that, they would still need to go before the planning board for a special permit for the curb cut and also go through DPW to get permission for the, probably for the curb cut there. So if the ZBA ends up permitting it with conditions and there's still a plan floating around out there that shows a parking spot, it's not necessarily over. There's still going to be some other permission that they need to get before they can construct it.
Now, speaking of construction, say that they do get, without the stairway, they get permission to build this. Now they're talking about carrying everything out every day off the site. What they're planning on doing is taking the roof off of what's there now, which is a major amount of construction debris. And I don't know how they're gonna do that. It's almost like the original thing they wanted to do there, where they were gonna hand dig a foundation. It's not as absurd as that, but it's pretty absurd what they're proposing to do on this site. And they're gonna bring in materials as needed, but I mean, I can, and put up fencing. I think we'd have to be cops down, we'd have to be traffic cops down there all the time to keep an eye on things. Because I think that it would just get out of hand. And I
Yeah, I
hope,
think Dave, you made a really good point that I hope they all heard, that the additional language that the committee had prepared, which I think is really good as sort of a final option to at least have put in the permit, all sounds good, but unless somebody's actually out there watching and paying attention and enforcing it, it's only as good as they and their workers and subcontractors are aware of it and follow it, because if they don't, then it could easily just be too late.
and that's what I think, definitely, I think what we're all afraid of on this. It's such a small site that I would hope that, I mean, one of the members of the zoning board said he was gonna deny it as it stood. It wasn't gonna. And I think pretty much everybody on the zoning board agreed with them.
And I wasn't there in person, so sometimes it's harder to get a sense of how they're all feeling about it. I agree that it seemed as though some of them would. I don't know whether a majority would outright deny it, or if there would be more discussion about permitting it with conditions such as leaving that stairway in place, which would certainly be helpful.
Stay in place, I think. That's what it sounds. Well, they don't have anything to do with that, though. Because it's not work in the setback.
They don't technically need relief to remove it. Right.
They do not. And they don't even need it where they want to put apparently where they want to put the stairway. I mean, the whole thing for the HDC, before the HDC passed without, I think I wish that every time a 43 Union Street goes, the flag goes up on something so anyway.
Well, I mean, in theory, and this is probably not very likely in practice, you could say the town is in a butter because the town has an interest in the tree, and therefore the town should be notified.
Yep.
As any other abutter would be whenever there's an HDC application.
Right, and there wasn't.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even think, I never, Liz Coffin is right on that, and I don't, she would have called me, I think, if that was up. I think it was just something that got.
Well, you never know. HDC's agenda is so long.
Yeah,
You never know what they're gonna get.
Right. So anyway, we've got, I guess, when's the next meeting? It's, what is it, the 8th of May, is it, or something like that?
I think that's right.
So,
Or the following week. Here, I'll double check.
it's something I think we all gotta be very aware of. Did you watch it on?
I haven't had a chance yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it probably is the 8th, Dave.
But I think we gotta, I would think the DPW would back us up on the curb cut there, and I'm sure that, and I'm hoping that the building department would do the same.
Yeah, any curb cut like that, if they want a parking spot removed.
Yeah.
So if they want a yellow stripe on the other side of the roads, they
There
can
is a
turn, has to
parking
go to traffic safety.
And there is a parking spot on the other side of the road,
Right,
correct?
and so, traditionally, if there's no net gain to the town of parking, so if it's a trade 126 Main Street
Yeah.
was denied their curb cut because there was no net gain. They were only showing 1 20-foot spot in
Yeah.
length off the road and wanted to get rid of one spot on the road, and so they denied.
Yeah. Now, I stress the fact that it's a non-starter to even think about excavating around that tree. Non-starter. I stress the fact that the roots are everywhere. They're probably under that house. And there's going to be root damage removing the steps. So I'm hoping we can block it.
Obviously, Charlie will know if they go to DPW, and I'm always reviewing the planning board applications, the agendas. They often are not posted until the Friday before a Monday meeting, but I'll definitely keep my eye out for anything on the planning board agenda as well that I can alert everyone to.
Okay, let's, before we talk about the airport, let's go to Mary's,
So I was hoping Dale would have something to say.
you know, you got the email from,
Yeah.
David Gray, correct?
Yeah.
And
So
I guess-
this is the sidewalk restoration on Atlantic Avenue around the two historic elm trees that are there.
I don't know if you've driven down Atlantic Avenue, but they stopped the curbing a ways away from each of the elms that kind of are right on the street. I don't know if they were damaging the roots too much, or he just stopped them and told them, no, we're not.
Well, they've filled in now a lot closer to the trees. They've progressed from where they had stopped.
How
before.
far have they got?
It's close to the trees. I mean, it's not on the trunk, but it's,
Right.
Close to the
Yeah, I
tree.
think that's about where they stopped.
Okay.
They stopped and,
well, before they were like 15, 20 feet away. Or something like that,
Yeah.
but it's a lot closer now.
okay, it's a lot, they might have, well. Anyway, the homeowner will not allow the sidewalk to continue there, around the
Right.
back of the tree. So that's, and I don't know what's gonna resolve that whole thing in front of the trees. Because they just stopped dead. Dale said it's gonna damage the root system too much on the trees, so I think that's gonna stay the way it is. It's gonna look weird, but I think it's gonna stay the way. It,
Oh, maybe I'm not, I'm looking at the. Maybe they're not closer, maybe it's just more finished off.
yeah, they probably have, they probably paved around there
Yeah.
now. But I think it's gonna stay like that. And I don't,
So kind of.
you know
like
anything else
before.
about it, Charlie?
No.
So,
Well, I'm
anyway, I
glad
think,
that we asked.
yeah, I mean, I'm glad that Dale stopped everything before they really damaged the tree, so. Okay, that's what I got. All right, I was hoping now that, the next on the agenda is the tree replacements in the airport parking lot. The airport commission is, did everybody get a copy of this?
Yes.
The airport commission?
And Charlie, you sent that out to us.
This is the one that we wrote to the airport commission. I
This
believe I
is
sent
their
out for
answer. This
approval.
is their answer that we,
I didn't see an answer.
It's
okay,
Did I
officially,
remember?
okay, they got back to us about the planting and they declined to participate in but they might have thought that they had to contribute in some way, and they don't. I mean, and I'm just thinking that, do they have, I was hoping to work this out if somebody was, I thought a rep was coming. I guess the rep was,
yeah, they will,
came to the other meeting.
no, I couldn't make it to the last one, that's gonna try to be there next month.
This is our letter.
That's our letter?
Yes, that's our
Oh,
letter.
okay, Annie. Okay.
Yeah, we got a very basic response, just saying that thanks, but no thanks.
No.
Words.
It- Getting back to that, is Krashulik gonna plant the trees?
I'm not 100% sure on how that deal was all
Can we find that out
worked out.
before I bug the Sparrow about it? Because if there's no cost to the airport, I can't imagine that they would.
It's hard to imagine they'd object to somebody coming to plant trees to make the parking lot better.
Yeah, they don't want it, they don't want the trees there because it probably impedes the ease of mowing those strips that are empty now. But,
Ah, okay.
but I've been involved with that for the airport parking lot for a long time because, you know, when I worked for Walter Beinecke, you know, that was the last bit of the free tree planting that we did for the town. And some in those empty spots or spots that were you know, where trees died and were never replaced. And I think this is a good opportunity to get those, you know, to achieve kind of what Walter wanted to do. And, so
I'll reach out to Megan Triell, see
Yeah.
if she.
Yep.
That was the deal, that was all worked out through Plus, I believe.
fine.
At the very least, we have the trees and we'll just figure
Yeah,
out.
the trees are still sitting there. They're acclimated. They look like nice trees and certainly will have spots. Will easily have spots in that parking lot. Like,
Yeah.
we probably have
And
spots.
that's, I don't,
at
I
least one.
proposed, even along Old South Road, there are areas that are just kind of scrub and pines.
But the nice thing about the airport is they, well, number one, they're all town trees there. So they'll be, but they'll also be watered because they've got an irrigation system.
Yeah.
So to me, that makes the most sense rather than kind of plant something in the hinterlands that doesn't get kind of routine watering and maintenance. So anyway, I was hoping to press the airport on that because they've got a request in to remove an English oak. And it's, you got that in the thing. Do we have a picture of that? Where did I?
Which one? There's one many English oaks.
They've already requested 2 other trees be removed. It's up by I believe it's up by the tower for, it's in the line of sight of the security camera, I believe. Is why they're requesting it to be removed.
That's the only one, right?
There were 2 other, there's maybe like a locust or something else. I'd have, Dale would know.
This was the only one that
They've previously requested removal
Did they have a number?
of 2
It's
others.
2056.
Okay, that's all
It's in the area near the gazebo.
right. You can get on.
And it's right near a light. They're doing some kind of, it's not the best looking. It's not the best, it's a one-sided tree. So, I mean, to me, I don't have any problem. with it.
Yeah, I don't think the other ones came to us. I think Dale just signed off that there weren't anything to.
So Dale told him.
I believe the other
I'm not
ones.
touching the Dale.
I'd asked Jordan about it, and he said there were like 2 others. They haven't taken them down yet, but they're on the list.
Okay.
As long as you know.
All right, I'm gonna try and share my screen.
My computer. This is the picture that the students from WPI took of tree number, what is it, 2056? So right next to a light pole. There's a hedge there. It's already being trimmed away from the hedge.
Yeah, it's right next to the restaurant.
Call it a specimen.
No, it's not. It's not. I mean, it's,
It-
but
The
I,
location is right here.
there it is. Yeah. But I'd be interested in, if they're gonna remove it, I would like to see them plant something somewhere
Yeah.
in maybe near there's a honey locust that died that's near there. If you're coming this way, maybe another tree, replace a tree that's kind of, it's almost right in front of where the Zoom thing is right there. There's a stump of a tree that died. So I'd like to see that, because that eventually will be a nice grove there. So that's one thing, but I think we've got to have we have to have a hearing on it.
Sure.
So I think the Air Force, they have to request it, so.
Yeah, we'll move to the here for the next meeting.
Yeah, so I don't think the tree's going anywhere, I can't. How old were you in that picture?
Oh, that was not that many years ago.
Oh, okay.
2017. Which is longer ago than it feels like.
That's it.
It's hard to think.
That's 8 years. I didn't mean to ask how old you were.
Well, once we're not recording.
Okay, right, okay. All right, so that's how that stands. Do we have anything else, that anybody wants to add to? I guess. All right, I think we're good.
Okay,
I would, hope everybody chimes in and attends either on Zoom or in person, the next ZBA meeting. I think it's very.
I will be there one way or another.
I'll
I'll
definitely,
try.
so, we'll keep pressing them.
Sounds
All
good.
right, so we have a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all right, see you next time.
Okay, bye-bye.
Thanks, Dave. Thanks, Charlie. Thanks, Mary. Bye, Judy.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.